Hey guys, Crypto Renegade here again with another video for you. Welcome. Today I'm going to be going over a review for the BitPay Debit Visa card and why it's actually important for Bitcoin adoption. So let's get started. Um, as far as my history and my activity goes, I was recently contracted with a very large cryptocurrency company working on a project I can't really talk about at the moment. However, my sole revenue or my sole payment from this company was Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash directly. And what I needed was a way to find a way that I could pay my rent, pay my bills, buy my groceries, things like that directly with Bitcoin. And it opened up a couple of questions and a couple of challenges. And I'm going to go over why BitPay was the best solution for me. So let's kind of get started there. So as far as using the card, when you go and you actually sign up, it's really simple. It'll ask you a few questions, name, address, stuff like that, and then it'll charge you just a one-time fee, like a $9.95 fee. And what they'll do is they'll email you this card. It's basically just a BitPay Visa debit card, as you can see, and then it has a swipe mechanism and so on, and it works just like a regular debit or credit card, except the difference is that it doesn't have a chip, which I'll go into later. It's not really a big deal. So, as I got paid from this company and I needed to find a way to pay rent and pay bills, obviously there's not a lot of companies that you can currently use Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash directly to pay pay down your credit cards or pay your rent balance or buy groceries. There's a lot of, merchants that still don't accept Bitcoin directly, which I'm going to go into another video on how we can get merchants locally to start accepting it and make it easier for them. But as far as my user experience or my time using the card, I've used it for almost 2 years every single day to pay for virtually everything. Going to the grocery store, it sends you a card, you enter in a PIN, you call the 1-800 number, on the back, and then you can use the automated system to set your PIN, set your information, and go from there. And basically, the way that it works is, when you go to make a transaction, you set the PIN, and it will only, pre-authorize the amount that you're being charged. So if you're, for instance, at like a gas pump or something that normally would put a huge hold on the card, you can just select debit, enter the PIN, and it won't have, a pre-auth hold on anything. Now, when you're using it for, credit card purchases, let's say you're at a restaurant, or let's say you're, going to make a big purchase and there isn't a PIN option, what you can do is you can still use the card, and what it will do is it will pre-auth. And it usually takes about 1 or 2 days for it to clear. And what you do when you get it is you just set up the BitPay app. It's a free download for iOS or Android. You create a wallet address for whichever coin that you want to use, and then ultimately what happens is you can just add funds directly, to the card. You can top it off. And the way that it works is it's sort of like a prepaid card. Is what it does is it uses the whatever the current conversion rate is. Usually it's pretty within 1 or 2% of what the coin market cap current listing is, but basically it allows you at any time to top off your card, and you can actually top up anywhere up to $25,000. And what's really nice about this is, let's say you have a balance of Bitcoin Cash, and let's say you have a balance of Bitcoin, and you just want to leave it in the wallet, and there happens to be a big spike, like a 15 or 20% spike in the price, and you happen to catch it, you can immediately top off that card there and preload it. And you're going to catch those spikes, and it allows you to do it instantly. There's no holds, there's no waits. Unlike Coinbase, where you're paying just exorbitant fees, it's absolutely ridiculous. But unlike Coinbase, it doesn't take 6 block confirmations for you to have your wallet. In fact, there was a time where I was buying something at a checkout line, and for whatever reason, I wasn't aware that there wasn't enough in there. I just went directly into my app, topped off the amount that I needed, hit add, and within 30 seconds, I was ready to swipe my card again and check out, and it was no problem. So it's really convenient. It's real time. Prior to discovering this feature, which I found out that they had here, is setting up the direct deposit. If you have a paycheck, you can they have a direct deposit form here. So you can ultimately, if you want to go ahead and basically, use this form and have money directly deposited, what it will do is whenever the payroll deposit for your company happens, it'll just use the conversion at that time and preload and convert it to your card, which is really convenient. The other thing that you can do is, if you ever need a refund, we're looking at BitPay site here. If you ever need a refund, let's say you preloaded 20 grand and you want to get, you want to get paid out for that. They have a company that they work with called Wavecrest that will, send you a check or direct deposit that money back into your bank account. Now you can actually also, deposit the money as well. It's just a $5 small fee, but you can also deposit the money as well, and it will allow you to, at any time, if you need money into your actual bank account, without having to use Coinbase or some other place that's going to charge you huge fees, you can do that. It works really well with Venmo. A lot of people that I know use Venmo. So if you're ever out and you need to pay your friends or you need to, pay your rent, it works really, really well with Venmo as far as connecting and using it. In fact, I was able to convince my landlord to start accepting my rent in Venmo instead of using, a direct deposit from a checking account or a savings account, so that I could avoid the fees, and it's worked really, really well. I had a question from some users as far as being able to, if I've had any real issues with using it. There's only one instance in the past 2 years where I was buying a U-Haul to move, and it cost like $600 or $700, and it was just a small town, merchant, kind of in like a shack, and tried to process the credit card, and it got declined, and the error code was, doesn't support, on his back end was like, doesn't support, cryptocurrencies or whatever. Luckily, I was still able to get it able to work. Some banks are obviously really against this because it's a direct competition with them. They don't want to accept any sort of transactions that refer to Bitcoin or anything like that. But I was able to tell him to get on the phone and get on the 1-800 number and get it authorized. And it was actually able to be pushed through, which were really nice. The other option you can also do is, it works really well at ATMs. You just pay your small $3 ATM fee or whatever the ATM charges you, and you can get cash out instantly. I think you can get all the way up to $5 grand in one cash out. And I've done that in the past, and it works really, really well. So you have a lot of flexibility here. I mean, it's like a real debit card, but you're actually using Bitcoin to pay for it and to fund it. So the fact that it's real time, the fact that you can get it out of an ATM at any moment you need real cash, the fact that you can use it at any place, restaurants, gas stations, grocery stores, literally anywhere that accepts Visa, you can use this, and it's really, really important. I think that this is a good tool that helps bridge us from the fiat world to the main cryptocurrency world. And the way that we gain mass adoption is by using these tools and letting people know, hey, I want to pay with Bitcoin, or hey, I want to use cryptocurrencies to make this transaction. And I can't tell you the number of times where I've gone, to anywhere just to check out, and they swipe the card and they're like, oh, what's BitPay? And I just like, hey, it's a debit card you can use and top off with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and it's really, really cool. And in fact, if you want to find out a way to start accepting Bitcoin at the store, I can, talk to your owner or give you some information. And it has a lot of advantages, as opposed to accepting credit cards, saves a lot of money, only paying a 1% fee instead of the 3% plus 60 cents per transaction that most credit card companies like Visa and MasterCard and so on pay. So it's a really, really useful tool. Like I said, I've literally lived off of this, with everything that I've had to pay for almost 2 years now, and it's just been a really, really good experience. Just to kind of show you, that I actually do make daily transactions. As you can see, I have a $7 balance right now, but just to kind of give you a brief showing here, I do make, as you can see over here, I do make several transactions and top it off, regularly. I want to go ahead and protect my privacy, but I just wanted to show you guys that I use it frequently. If you have any questions or if you have any concerns about using this, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions. Please go ahead and subscribe if you found any value in this, or if there's another video you want me to go in depth and show you the sign-up process or anything like that. It's very, very easy to do. You can use it on desktop or on mobile. I use it on mobile all the time, as far as topping off funds and getting, when I get paid in Bitcoin, just making sure that I use the wallet address that BitPay free wallet gives you. And it's so useful. I used to have to use Coinbase, like I said, all the time and just pay so many fees, $50 fees here, $70 fees here, $30 fees here. And it just got ridiculous, just so that I could have money in a bank account. So you'll find ways that when you have to live off of Bitcoin, you start to find creative ways that you can start convincing, the people that you need to pay to use Venmo or to use to accept a Visa card or what have you instead of, ACH. So in the event that you ever need to use ACH, I recommend using this because you only have to pay a one-time $5 fee, which is way cheaper than using Coinbase. So again, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. I'm going to be creating more content over the coming weeks for you guys. My main goal, again, on this channel is to promote tools and resources that we can help bring cryptocurrency into mass adoption and mainstream usage so people can use it as a currency. My belief that is more people see the utility as this as a powerful tool, we can go ahead and actually increase the price, increase the function, and and there's a lot more innovation that's already coming down the pipe for this. So I'm so excited for the future on this. Again, let me know if you have any comments or questions. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and we'll see you next time.